Welcome to the Knakal News Network. The Knakal News Network is brought to you by Cushman and Wakefield, New York's #1 building sales firm.
Hi, I'm John Hageman, Sales Team Manager for Team Knakal at Cushman and Wakefield. Welcome to the Knakal News Network. Today I'm here with Bob Knakal, Chairman of New York Investment Sales at Cushman and Wakefield. We hear a lot about the foreign buyers that are very active in the marketplace today. Bob, after the downturn, when did this trend really start to take hold?
Well, new buyers have been coming into the marketplace forever, but it just seems like the magnitude of them, the number of new folks coming into the marketplace has been astonishing recently, and this has really been over the past couple of years. And while it's a positive thing for the market, it does present some challenges for us brokers.
What are some of those challenges, Bob?
Well, these buyers are unknown to us. So one of the things we have to do is try to determine whether they're real buyers or not. We can waste a lot of time, and that's something we can't afford to do because, as you know, Hags, all we have as brokers is our knowledge and our time.
How do you go about doing that, Bob?
Well, there are a number of things that we do. First is we ask people for proof of funds when they make an offer on a property. The people who are real and have the ability to purchase will send you that proof of funds within a matter of hours. And for those who don't have the money, we get every excuse in the book that their money is tied up overseas and they can't get their statement, or they have some problem getting money out of their country, or their partner wants to keep it a secret who he is. But even college kids get a bank statement every month.
Besides proof of funds, Bob, what's another way that you vet a buyer out?
Well, to talk to them about how they're planning on financing the acquisition. Probably 25% of the foreign buyers or the out-of-town buyers that are coming into the market purchase properties on an all-equity basis. But for the 75% of buyers who are going to get financing, we need to ask them where they're going to get the financing. Do they have relationships with a local lender here? Find out who that banker is and talk to that banker, get a banking reference from them.
So you talked about banking relationships being one of the groups that you can go to find out if a buyer is real or not. What are some other groups that they would potentially work with that you can find out more information on?
So we will ask the buyer who they're going to use for their environmental work, if necessary, who their engineer is that's going to perform the engineering survey of the property, and importantly, who their attorney is going to be. We've had some folks give us attorneys' names, and the attorney has said, I talked to that guy 2 years ago, haven't heard from him since. That tells you something about the sincerity with which that buyer is approaching the marketplace.
So, Bob, we covered quite a bit here. Is there anything else that you do to try to determine if a buyer is real or not?
The last thing that we do is try to talk to folks who have sold this particular buyer properties. If they've purchased properties in New York and they just are new to us, they're not known to us, we'll try to get the names of those sellers or look at what else they've purchased, call the seller of that property to see how the transaction went. And if these folks are involved in real estate in other cities across the country or in other places, we'll try to find out who the sellers were that sold property to them, call those people. Often you get very interesting stories about the way transactions happened, but we need to make sure that these people are real buyers so they don't waste our time and our clients' time. In summary, doing homework on new buyers to the marketplace is very important to avoid wasting time unnecessarily. Asking for proof of funds and which third-party professionals the buyer is going to use often provides great insight into these people. Importantly, talking to property owners who have sold properties to this particular buyer will often provide great insight into the experience you'll likely have with that party.
Thank you for joining us today. Tune in next week for another installment on the Knakal News Network.